Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for your great support. We are really growing at a commendable rate, and may God bless you. If you're watching this video, ladies and gentlemen, take your 1 or 2 seconds, click that subscribe button, and of course, you remember to turn on your notification bell. Back to the Kenyan politics, ladies and gentlemen. But before I proceed, I want to play for you a video clip. You know, people have told me, Kaka, you hate Ruto. But there is no single day I've ever hated Ruto. My only weakness is to speak nothing but the truth. I always accompany my videos with a lot of evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to carefully listen to this video because this is the video I will be analyzing. Please take your time and listen very carefully.
I want to assure you that my administration will respect the independence of the judiciary, will respect the independence of all the other institutions in a manner that makes them efficient to deliver on their respective mandates. We will promote dialogue between institutions and positive engagement so that we can all focus on how to take Kenya to a higher level. Whenever there are issues, there is always a mechanism for us to resolve whatever issues that may arise in the course of all of us discharging our separate mandates. And there is room in the Constitution for consultation and for engagement. And whenever there are issues, I am open to engagement and discussion and consultation for the better management of our country and for the efficient delivery of the mandate of each and every institution. We must deal firmly and decisively with impunity. Let me say this for the record, that Kenya can only be better if we become a country of the rule of law. Any other route leads to anarchy and confusion. So I ask all of us as Kenyans, we are all equal before the law and before our Constitution. And therefore, there must never be the case of the animal farm, where there are people who are more equal than others. We are all equal before the law. And if the rule of law is our benchmark, we can only succeed. So, even as president, I have limitations.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard what the president has said kwa maneno yanayoeleweka. Simple English, straight to the point. Now, in that clip, I have picked a few points that I want us to discuss. Ruto is beginning by saying that his administration will respect the independence of the judiciary and other independent bodies, right? So including him, because he is the leader of the administration, he's saying he will completely respect the independence of the judiciary. Point number 2. In that video, he says he will, or his administration will decisively deal with impunity. What is impunity? I found a definition. Impunity, in simple terms, is exemption from punishment. Yani, in Kenya, we call it, you have been given a punishment by the court, but because you have the powers, you exempt yourself from that punishment. That is what we call impunity. The court rules and gives directions as an independent body, but because some people feel they are superior than the courts, they exempt themselves from the ruling or the verdict. Exemption means kujiondoa, yani kutoroka, running away from. And he said, you heard him say, let me say this for the record. That is him saying, that is William Ruto was saying. He was saying he wants to say this for the record, that Kenya can only become better if we become a country that follows the rule of law. So Kenya will become better, including him, if only our citizens, including him, follow the law. Ladies and gentlemen, he continues to say that any other route away from the rule of law will lead to anarchy and confusion. What is anarchy? Anarchy, number 1, it's a state of lawlessness. You are operating without the law. You feel free. You operate without the law. That is anarchy. Anarchy can also be defined as a political disorder. Politics without order. Yani kila mtu anataka kufanya vile anataka. Number 3, anarchy is enjoying complete freedom without government. Yani you can do whatever you want without the involvement or interference from the government. Ruto continues to say that all of us, including him, we are equal before the law. So he, as the president, who is the leader, the first leader who should lead in defending the Kenyan constitution, he says even him is below the law. Nobody is above the law. And he concludes in a very funny statement that there must be no animal farm where we have people who are better than others. So he's saying Kenya should not be like an animal farm. All of us are equal regardless of your political status, regardless of your career. We are all equal before the law. That said, ladies and gentlemen, I have witnessed very sad statements from our president. Very sad. And I will not fear to point them out. I will not fear. And I will not give up. As much as the president has decisively, conclusively, and has explained in simple terms from the clips you've watched, I have seen very traumatizing remarks, very discouraging remarks from our very own president, who is telling us to respect the independence of the judiciary and to respect the rule of law. Number one, the Supreme Court that is being led by the CJ Martha Koome gave a ruling and a verdict on CDF, Constituency Development Fund. Martha Koome came public on television. She explained herself and said, from the judiciary, CDF remains illegal until otherwise. But the president, who is telling us to respect the law, is telling members of parliament in the Kenya Kwanza coalition that as long as I'm the president, your CDF must remain and members of parliament must take charge of the CDF. That is the same president who is telling us to respect the rule of law. Is the same president who is telling us we are equal before the Kenyan law. Very sad statements. Number two, in 2018, the court pronounced itself on the ongoing threats of SIM card registration from the Communication Authority of Kenya. Through a petition filed by Okiya Omtatah, the courts pronounced themselves. They said it is illegal to infringe the rights of Kenyan citizens by wanting to install spies in phone gadgets. But look, the new administration is pushing for it. Despite the court ruling, the CA under the new administration is still pushing for it and has given Kenyans a deadline. If you can't, you will be switched off. Point number three. I was traumatized, I was surprised, and I was shocked that the president is saying this, and I quote, "We just got a ruling from the court that it's wrong for us to increase NSSF monthly contributions." I have had a conversation with the board and the management of NSSF, and we will talk to the court again and ask them if we live in the same country. Now, Ruto has told us from what you have watched that all of us, including him, should entirely and 100% respect the rule of law. If William Ruto, our president, means it, then he must respect the decision of the court on NSSF. Kenyans have no money to save. Saving is a choice and not a must. Saving should not look like a gun on the head that you must save or else you die. We should not go that route in Kenya. The court ruled it's wrong and illegal to force Kenyans to save. Now, from what I've just outlined, 3 scenarios, I can confidently say, without fear of contradiction, and let my statements vindicate me, that the first person who wants to take us into anarchy and confusion is the president himself. If there is a person who wants us to act like an animal farm, is the president himself. Why? He doesn't want to respect the courts. Ladies and gentlemen, I can confidently say, for the record, that the first person who wants to take us to a lawlessness country is the president himself. He has spoken in public. He has been heard. This is not innuendos. This is not propaganda. It's something that is in the public domain, ladies and gentlemen. And I will not fear to point them out. Our president must walk the talk. If you tell us to respect the courts, just serve as an example. Yes, the court has ruled CDF is illegal. Respect it. The courts have ruled it's illegal to increase NSSF. Respect it. You are not above the law to go and hold boardroom discussions again with the courts. Respect the decision of the courts. Do it, Mr. President. We are not begging. It is a must. It is the law. The courts pronounced themselves in 2018 on the ongoing threats on SIM card registration. Your Excellency, sir, walk the talk. Let your government respect the court decision. Period. If you want to increase NSSF, go and appeal as the president, because the court ruled. The procedure is appeal. If you are not satisfied with the decision, that is the procedure, that is the law. But any other shortcut, as you said, will lead us into anarchy and confusion. And be very careful, you yourself, not to become the leader towards that route. We tell you openly, we cannot hide you. We cannot hide you. Kenya, we have freedom of expression, and we must tell you this. You have told us very clearly, very precisely, no one is above the law, including you. So, Mr. President, excuse us. Respect the decisions that have been made by the Constitution of Kenya. Yes. Do it, please. Your role as the president is entirely to protect and safeguard the Constitution of Kenya. The same judiciary put you in power from the verdict. Please respect it. We are not asking. We are not begging. We are demanding. Respect the courts. Period. We have no otherwise. We have nothing to discuss. Hii maneno ya kutuambia kwamba mtaenda tena kurudi boardroom kudiscuss na I don't know na courts, I don't know what. Please. That is disrespecting the judiciary. Walisema, if you want to increase NSSF, please appeal as the president and go to court, sit down, let your case be heard. That is the procedure. Nothing else. God bless you. Keep subscribing and keep watching, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you.